morning, good evening, or good night. My name is explination, and tonight, or this evening, however you're watching this video, this is going to be the video to review the changes to the adventure game code that had to be made to make a monster chase you and a traversable dungeon. And that all starts right here. I advise I will be reading a bit off a script soon, just to make sure that this video stays under 10 minutes, or around 10 minutes, because I don't want it to elongate too much. And it starts here. So dungeon template txt. What does this do? Well, this displays the map, or shows a visual display of the map. This is the visual part of the code. This is what we're gonna call in the init, because in the class, or I think it's private, yeah, private class init, we call a how would you put it? A pre-rendered or pre-registered map of 4 tiles. And what we're gonna do when we enter adventuregame.cs, which is the main code we're gonna go over today, we call upon this file right here. This, as you can see, has the rows and columns specifying the traversable areas and whatnot. And here you have the descriptions. So if you go down here to adventuregame.cs, over here, first I'm just gonna go over this. These were added, these were added down here. Stuff like is treasure collected, the bools over here, it's just open, has player quit, such and such, stuff like that. And all the way down here, we specify everything at the start. So instead of loading from a pre-registered just 4 square dungeon that isn't shown visually to the player, we have it loads the text file, which makes it show the map visually on screen. And then we declare all these things. Well, we declare them up there, but we specify them. The A row is the start row, the A column is the start column, the exit row, the GRU column, the GRU row, and we specify all the things down here. Is chasing false, and it's just open false, because all of that activates whenever interacting with the items in the game. I will show that in a minute as we go down here. We go to the show start screen. This is just pretty simple. Welcome to Adventure Game. This is one of the first changes we make besides the ones at the top. We add the show scene. Show scene is what we see at the start. So made it so the first room has the lamp and the key, like the original. So if R has lamp, if the room, R is room, or room, dungeon, A row, A column. If R has lamp, there's a lamp here. If it has key, there's a key here. If it has chest, there's a chest here. When we move to the column with the chest, this pops up. Else, this room is pitch black. And if A row is equal to the exit row, and A column is equal to the exit column, and treasure is not collected. This is the dungeon exit, but you cannot leave without the treasure. If GRU is chasing, it shows this. And then down here we have all of the, down here after this, which is the scene, we have the show map, and this is the map. As you can see, we specify where the spaces are, the open spaces, the blocked off spaces, the ones you can't go, verified by this if. The else ifs are also the A for adventure, G for GRU. This activates if GRU is chasing, so it has to be true, and row is GRU column and GRU column. And this one is the exit, and the exit row. And down here we have a little map to show what is what and which thing is which. Then we have the input options here. Give me a second real quick. My bad, I was interrupted. Not rudely, I was just interrupted. But apart from that, or Very quickly, just a detour. I forgot to show, I was gonna show, but I should rather show this first. Added a dungeon.cs, and these are my mistake. I don't know why my headphones turned off. They have a little funny quirk. Anyway, we made this dungeon class. It stores all the important data loaded from the dungeon file. And, you know, all this, very simple. We call upon them in the adventuregame.cs. This class is mainly a data container. Big O notation is O of 1 for accessing each property because it only stores and returns values. And then we go down here to the dungeon loader before we continue with adventuregame.cs. Originally, the loader only returned a room, comma, but now returns a full dungeon object, which is, you know, full dungeon object, which is all of this. And this is here to specify, you know, if file does not contain enough layout rows. This is to like debug and whatnot, like, you know, if the columns aren't enough, or if the txt file doesn't have enough columns or doesn't have enough written columns, then it doesn't register. Though we have the int parse section here, which is all of this. Then all the way down here, we have the for loop here, which it scans the dungeon grid row by row, column by column. If a tile is not a wall, it creates a new room, and that's how we get the room itself. This, you think this is what makes the dungeon? No, this is just the visual. It uses this format it uses this to determine what is, you know, a place that can be or cannot be made as a wall or a room and whatnot, and blah, blah, blah. So we go down here. Down here, where is it? I missed it. Down here, it loops the walkable rooms and assigns lighting, descriptions, item chests, and exits. Then it calculates the exits down here. Then we go down here and we return the new dungeon with the specified things down here. And these, I'm pretty sure, were already here before. So let's go back to adventuregame.cs. So let me see. So besides this, and well, you know, besides all this, we go down here. Let's go to the get input. We got the life of the group. These are the process inputs, which are the, you know, the keys, or the not the keys. My mistake. This processes the inputs. This was here before. Go down here. We had to update this, or I had to update this because it has to identify if player has won, because this loop right here, or this if loop, you know, it keeps going, and this moves GRU, check GRU collision. So this makes sure that the GRU can't go past walls, because that's really important. You don't want a ghost GRU chasing you through walls. If none of this is achieved, this doesn't return, because if player has won, it returns and it exits, and, you know, we get the win screen. And if none of this is true and the GRU is alive, then we move GRU and we check GRU collision. We had to change this too, because this checks if player has won, player has quit, or player is alive. And the game over screen, I'm pretty sure this remained the same. Have the same room things. We have the get lamp, get key, and we open chest. This we did have to change down here because, well, we had to change it so that when you open the chest, originally it would just end the game because opening the chest was the winning condition. Now the winning condition is opening the chest, finding the treasure, and leaving with the treasure and leaving through the exit without getting caught by the GRU. As you can see here, in a terrifying roar, the GRU is not chasing you. the chest is already open, you already have the treasure, you don't have the key, there's no chest in this room. That's if you try to open a chest that isn't inside the room. And we check for exit. This is a new method called check for exit, which this checks if, if the treasure is collected, then you escape the dungeon, you win, or else you found the dungeon exit but you still need the treasure. Then again, this is pretty self-explanatory. Again, if you have the treasure, or if the player has the treasure, you escape the dungeon and you turn has player 1 into true, and the else is you found the dungeon exit but you still need the treasure, so it keeps looping. And down here we check the GRU collision. This pretty much just makes it so that, if they're not in the same row, or if they're in the same column and row, like if they're in the same space, then it considers the GRU there, it eats you, the game loses, it returns this adventure alive false. And we also changed this down here, or we added this. This is the move GRU. It's pretty simple, explanatory. This moves the GRU in the direction. This is the meat and the bones. This down here, all the meat and the bones right here. The algorithm makes the best immediate move based on the current situation. The GRU tries to move one step closer to the adventure. If it tries to reduce the row difference, if that is not possible, it tries to reduce the column difference. The method uses can move to avoid walking through walls. The big O of move GRU is O1 because the GRU only checks a small number of possible directions. One limitation is that greedy movement does not always find the best path around walls. A more advanced version could use BFS, or breadth first search, to find the shortest path. BFS would be an ORXC per GRU move, but the greedy approach is simpler and fastest for this project. As you can see, this is one of the better approaches to, it's O1, and it's pretty simple. It just tries to shorten the distance from the player to the GRU. We also have this down here, which is the can move. This is to make sure that the GRU doesn't move past walls. This is the check and preventing the GRU from moving past walls. And this is private void quit. And yeah, that's mostly all the things that have been added. I'm pretty sure this is untouched. This has been untouched as well, I'm pretty sure. I think we've had to add, these, because we take from each room, checks if it's lit, if it has lamp, if it has keys. I also have to change this because we had to add this, which makes it so that the template.txt is readable. So it can take from the txt file and make the visual dungeon. So yeah, that's about it for the explanation video. Thank you anyone and everyone for watching, and hopefully everything seems alright here. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you, whoever is watching. I'll hear from you in the comments if you decide to post something or whatever, or the professor and whatnot. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye bye. Good evening, good morning, or good night, as always.